This is a content, concern, and prettification neglected show. Hello, y'all. Happy July 9th. This is Gorgeous Responds, and I am your host, Gorgeous. Today, I want to respond to former FBI Director James Comey, who by all intents and purposes appears to be in some very, very deep doo-doo. We have a situation in our federal government where an investigation is taking place and underway at the present, headed by one federal investigator. I believe he's also a prosecutor, and Jim Durham, as well as other investigators. And we have a situation in which they are investigating the Russian probe that had taken place in the current president of the United States presidential campaign. And it appears to be that we every day, within the last few weeks, but really in the last few months, we're getting more and more that's, coming out regarding the, situation of the investigation. And it appears that more details are coming out with just incredible collusion that was going on at the highest level of the federal government, and chiefly talking about one former FBI director who was a Barack Obama appointee, James Comey. The skillet is just getting hot. It's getting very hot for James Comey. And the thing is, we have more and more people that we're finding out that was involved in the collusion case and trying to basically, rig a United States presidential election in the favor of one candidate, this one being, of course, Hillary Clinton, over the current president of the United States. And make no mistake about it, Hillary Clinton is deep in that water too. And so is Bill. It's just been a whole host of characters and how they've played roles in this, Russian case, this Russian campaign, where they tried and attempted rather to put a collusion case on the current president of the United States to keep him from winning the election. And it's really, really bad, y'all. This is why I say that this president of the United States, in terms of his presidency, is being underestimated. Because we know that people are people, so people are corrupted pretty much in some effect or way by nature. Because what do we talk about on this show? We talk about the good in people, we talk about the bad in people. So we know that, people given all this power and influence. Again, this is why I don't talk about these political people that are currently serving in office by name. If they're out of office, they're a private citizen. But I don't give them names, because they are there in that seat and in that office to serve and do the Lord's will, as I've stated before. And that is to serve we the people of the United States of America. That is their job, people. So I don't give them names. They want to sit up here and, get all these Twitter followers or Instagram or Facebook or, whatever social media platforms out there. I'm grateful for YouTube because, this is what I do. I don't know too much about technology. That's why my son had to tell me, Dad, you need to start doing YouTube videos because people need to know a lot of stuff that you're saying. And a lot of people don't know. So I'm like, son, okay, give me a camera. Got me the camera? I'm in there. But I don't know a lot about these social media platforms. It's not my thing. But, people are not, I do know this. People are not given these political offices to serve in our government, particularly our federal government, to enlarge, if you will, or to strengthen their name brands and their, personalities, to make them more money, as they sit there and hold that particular office or that seat. That's not why we send these people to Washington, D.C. That's not their jobs to do. Their job is to be our emissary and to basically be our voice, to be our vote as we voted for them. That is their job, to carry out our agenda as the American people. If you voted for this particular candidate to hold that particular office, to hold that particular seat, it is his or her job to get in there and to do what they said that they were going to do while they begged and screamed and pleaded for your vote. So I don't look at them as, this or that and other thing. I don't care about all that. As far as I'm concerned, we're sitting in those offices. Those are our seats. So, and this is why I say that this president of the United States has not been given full credit just as of yet. Certainly from the national media, because, national media is, of course, more liberal than anything. Or more progressive or more left or whatever they want to call themselves. They call themselves all these dressy names and whatnot. Listen, when you ain't all there, you just ain't all there. And I'm telling you right now, a lot of these people that are on the blue side, being at the Democratic side, ain't all there. They ain't all there. So what are you saying? All the Republicans are there? Nah, they ain't all there either. But what's at the forefront right now is what we have is a whole lot of Democratic corruption that has taken place over the years of one Barack Obama under his government, under his stewardship. And it's coming to a head. Each and every day, more and more of it is coming to the light. And we're finding out how deep that this right here falls upon one James Comey, the former head of the FBI director, who, by all intents and purposes, the way that I'm foreseeing this, the way that I'm projecting this, it seems like to me the more and more information that's coming in, and that's, the more people, the more players that are involved in this Russian collusion campaign that was pursued and basically manifested by the state under one President Barack Obama, former president rather, Barack Obama. He's a private citizen now, so I call him Barack Obama. And it's not looking good, y'all. So we have James Comey, who could indeed be coming to a federal penitentiary near you at any point in time. Now, it's gonna, more than likely, it's gonna take a few months here. But like I said, this Jim Dern guy, I mean, if you can just say what, somebody who's a tough guy that's, in the legal profession or, in the, judicial profession, and you could just like draw him up, forget, his thinkings, his likes, his interests, his personality. If you could just draw up a look, of a tough guy that's in the judicial or legal or investigative profession, it'll probably look a lot like Jim Durham, actually. The guy looks like a hawk. And I tell you one thing, a lot of people say he is a hawk. And I tell you another thing, James Comey is starting to feel the heat under that pan. It's starting to get hot for one James Comey. And he's starting to feel the heat. He's making all these public appearances, speaking out, getting in interviews, talking about, whatever they find, let them find it as long as it's true. Like, come on, man. Like I say, more and more actors involved in this collusion case with, James Comey and others are coming to the forefront of this this story here, in which we have, all these politicians colluding with one another to basically deny the presidency from one current president of the United States of America. It's starting to really look ugly. And I'm telling you, James Comey is starting to feel the heat, and he should be, because he's going to be a jailbird. And you heard it right here first on Gorgeous Response, and I'm going to need you to like, I'm going to need you to subscribe, I'm going to need you to hit that notify bell, and I'm going to need you to enlighten others about Gorgeous Response, and I really appreciate that, y'all. But yeah, so y'all just keep your head up, keep your eyes open, keep your ears peeled. More is coming down the pike on this story as we see all this cesspool that's taking place in Washington, D.C. Again, y'all, that's why we don't glorify these politicians. They ain't nobody. They ain't nobody. When we vote for these people, they there to serve us in that office. When they take office and they take oath, they're there to serve the Lord's will, which is the will of we, the people, the American people. So we got to be on them. We got to be on them, and we got to talk more about these term limits, y'all. These term limits are what we need in our federal government. These people are getting too comfortable in there. They're starting too many relationships all throughout inside the federal government. They're getting too much sway. And so that's how the collusion starts to formulate. That's how it starts to bubble. All these relationships start to, come about, and then we start to, seeing a lot of corruption at play. And, they're in there for what, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years? Come on, y'all. We talk about Vladimir Putin. We talk about the Iranian Prime Minister. We talk about Kim Jong-un. We talk about all these dictators out there. Tell me, what is the difference between all these dictators versus the United States Congress? They basically got the same damn term limits. So y'all, we got to get them out of there, because they're dictators is what they are. And that's why they remain nameless right here on this program. And that's why they're always going to remain nameless unless they become private citizens. So keep that in mind. And like I said, I'll keep y'all posted on goings on in the future regarding this issue with former FBI Director, Obama appointee James Comey, seriously becoming more and more by the day under fire, and also coming to a jail cell, a federal jail cell near you. This is Gorgeous Response. I am Gorgeous, and y'all stay tuned in. Peace.